So we've now pulled off the entire panel unit. It's sitting, just kind of laying down with the car right now. The seatbelt's holding it in, so that's fine. When you do go to pull it off, there is, I don't know how well you can see it because I cannot bend that direction. There is a, right underneath here, one wire clip that sits in this spot here. That is for your brake light. And that's just a simple plug connector with a little clip that you need to push down and pull out. Otherwise you'll rip your brake light off. On the right you got your hookups for all your defoggers and that sort of thing if you ever had to replace your back windshield. On the left, that box on there, I was reading, that is your door control. I would presume for the remote entry, as I do have a key fob for this car. Your seat belts are here. Obviously by safety standards, don't tamper with them. But I didn't tell you that. So you got your one speaker hookup here, I would assume. Your wiring going to your trunk light, and which did not need to be removed. And then you got your other speaker hookup here, so we'll be disconnecting both of those and unbolting the actual speakers. I believe they're 10mm bolts as well, so bear with me, I'm going to go get the bolt undoer. So we're now going to be unbolting all of the 4 bolts on each speaker, and they're using a 10mm socket, metric socket for that. And they just unbolt kind of as follows. So, pretty straightforward. I'm gonna take them all off, and we'll be replacing those with some Alpine SPR 6.9s type R's back here. So after marking the under portions of the speakers, each of the holes, because in my car we do have to, no, 3 Corolla, you do have to drill your own screw holes in there. We marked them using just a pencil, of course, or a marker, and the template that is included with the speakers themselves. Some of them will include templates on the bottom of the box. We actually didn't use the template, we used the mounting bracket so that, you know, you don't have to damage your box. Anyway, so those have been drilled, and we've put the 2 inch or 2.5 inch bolts in there, and the speakers themselves are mounted. So we'll find out how well they go once we put all the nuts on and the washers and everything, and hook them up and give them a test run. Right now there is no amp at the moment. I have one to install, but for now, today's project was just getting these rear speakers mounted, so we'll see what becomes of it. We're going to run our own speaker wire up there as well, because again, if you're ever going to put the stock speakers back in, it's usually better just to leave the connectors there rather than cutting them, because then you got to go and resolder all your stock kit. So we'll be back. I'm re-recording the audio here a little bit because in the previous video I said I was going to run all the wires down this side of the car, but what I'm going to do instead is run audio cables down the right side of the car and power down the left side. And the reason for that is because sometimes you can get a little distortion depending on how clean of a signal is being processed. Now, to get into all these panels you use a pry tool, like a flathead, and the best way to pry at them without damaging anything is, of course, go carefully, but also take a sock and wrap it around the head of the pry tool. So as you can see, the car wiring on most cars goes down the driver's side, but if you overload it with too much power and put in too high of an amp, power-wise, it's not going to break anything, but it could cause the potential to distort the audio from your RCA cables and speaker wire. So those are all running down the right side is where I'm going to run them, and there's a free penny.